First time I'm doing a prediction video, let's see how it goes. For those of you that are new here, my name's Josh, and I am a relatively new WWE fan, and I've really been enjoying asking you guys questions, you guys asking me questions, and getting to know you guys through this whole process. So let's just see how good I can do these predictions. As always, if you make it to the end of the video, I will give Max a treat. He's getting water right now. There he is. I want to start with the one that I feel like is the least interesting to talk about, and I hate to put it like that, but tell me I'm wrong. You've got Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul for the undisputed WWE Championship, which we did just find out is only going to be for Cody's title. I kind of wanted it to be both titles on the line, and then I was going to predict that Logan Paul was going to get himself DQ'd with the brass knuckles. But of course, Logan does what he does some stuff at the contract signing, and here we are. It's just for Cody's title, which pretty much takes out any chance of, you know, really any sort of uncertainty of what's going to happen in the match, unfortunately, because we're all pretty confident that Cody does have something involving his championship going on with The Rock later down the line. So unfortunately, it's pretty much you better hope they put on a good show, because we're pretty confident we know it's going to end one of two ways. Cody Rhodes is going to win the match and retain the title, or Logan's going to get himself DQ'd and win the title. The only thing I think they could do to really catch everyone off guard is Cody losing via DQ, but that's not gonna happen. Luckily, you've got Cody Rhodes, who is a really cool to watch in-ring worker, and then you've got Logan, who always finds a way to put something in a match that he's in somewhere on the internet where it's gonna go viral. So I think we get a good match, but we all know Cody's gonna walk out of there with that title. By the way, if you're not already, follow along, or at least go in the comments and just throw a quick prediction for each of the titles, and I'd be curious to see which one comes up the most often. Up next, let's look at the triple threat match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship between Sami Zayn defending his title against Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. This one, I feel fairly confident that I know it's going to be Sami retaining the title, because the only other option for me, at least in this match, is probably Chad Gable. I feel like Sami and Chad have been getting the mass majority of the promo work and the teaser of, you know, who's going to do this. Bronson Reed kind of feels like he's just kind of a part of the mix, but not really a huge threat. The only involvement he seems to really get is, you know, a promo here and there that kind of remind us that he's a part of things. What I think is going to be important to note, though, is that with this being triple threat, there won't be any form of DQ. And with what they just set up on Monday Night Raw, with Otis being put up against it, being told that he needs to help Chad Gable. So my prediction is that since Otis helped Chad Gable here on Monday Night Raw and then felt bad about it, apologized to Sami Zayn, I think that Otis is going to cost Chad Gable the championship. I don't know how exactly he's going to do it, but I think he's going to have the opportunity to help Chad Gable, and then instead of doing that, he either costs Chad, or maybe Otis takes the extra step and actually turns on Chad Gable, providing an opportunity for Sami to win. I don't see any scenario where Bronson Reed walks out with the title, but I think that's your best case scenario in terms of advancing storylines and getting an entertaining match. Otis turning on Chad Gable to give Sami Zayn the victory. Chad Gable officially potentially out of Alpha Academy, making it so that he can continue with this little bit of a teaser we keep getting between Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. What does that mean for the Alpha Academy? I don't really know. Maybe Ivy Nile's going to get more involved. She's still been tagging with Maxine. Ivy definitely seems like a face, so you think Ivy Nile probably won't associate with the Creed brothers if they're doing heel stuff with Chad. So your Alpha Academy might end up being Ivy, Maxine, Tozawa, and Otis. By the way, I just put up like 2 more Undertaker matches from WrestleManias over on the Patreon, ones that you guys have been requesting. Feel free to check that out. Also, starting next month, I will be doing a free watch along every single month and putting it over on the Patreon. So if you want to, at minimum, just go check out the Patreon and sign up as a free member, you will get a free watch along from me at least once per month. If you enjoy it enough and you want to end up upgrading your tier, you're welcome to do so. Anyway, all right, next, let's take a look at Becky Lynch defending against Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. I truly believe this is going to be your only title change of the night. I do believe Liv Morgan's going to walk in here and find a way to beat Becky. I think it'll be a little bit dirty. She'll find a way. I do kind of feel like Becky Lynch is being used as a transitional champion here just to provide some sort of a filler space for the title to be somewhere instead of being totally vacated while Rhea's gone. However, when Rhea does come back, I don't see her coming after Becky Lynch to try to get this title back. I think it's going to be Liv Morgan continuing this revenge tour. She's going to have the title, and probably get whatever pull she's been trying to get with Dom. And apparently there's been rumors that she's been seen with Finn, but I think that was literally just her showing up to the event with him. I don't think that's actually part of the storyline, but you never know. Liv did say she was going to take everything from Rhea, so I guess that would include Finn. I do wish that I could say that I think this is going to be a great match, but in the little bit that I've seen from Liv Morgan, it seems like most of the entertainment I get from her is outside of the ring. I do like her promos, and I do kind of like that she's been building up this always coming in second type of storyline where she almost wins the Rumble, almost wins the title at the Battle Royal. I think she was in second in the Elimination Chamber as well. The kind of always a bridesmaid, never the bride is something I can kind of get behind. So I would like to see her have the title, continue whatever storyline that she's going for, just to truly create that massive pop when Rhea Ripley finally comes back to take it back. Okay, next up, we got to make a little bit of some double predictions here because I'm recording this obviously before this Friday's SmackDown, so we're gonna have to predict also not just who's going to win the tournament finals, but who is going to actually win these. By the way, if you're not already, follow along or at least go in the comments and just throw a quick prediction for each of the titles, and I'd be curious to see which one comes up the most often. SmackDown side of the bracket. Starting with the Queen of the Ring, you've got Lyra Valkyria, who is advancing to the finals from Raw, and on SmackDown, you've got Bianca Belair taking on Nia Jax. Now, if we're looking this purely from a predictive standpoint, Lyra being your babyface from the Raw side, you're probably more likely to get a heel on the other side. So somehow, logically, that would tell me that Nia is going to find a way to win this match the same way she found a way to defeat Jade the week before. It was through some weird DQ stuff, but she did find a way to advance. So if I'm making a pure prediction, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that Nia Jax is probably going to find a way to take down Bianca Belair, and she'll advance to the final against Lyra Valkyria. Now, between those two, as much as I would love to see a new face in Lyra win the championship, I think this is a really cool opportunity to have Nia Jax have some sort of gold, a form of it, not a title obviously, but you know, it's kind of a title in its own way, but something that she can kind of flex around and use to throw her weight around a little bit in terms of a little bit of smack talk. Her promos and are giving herself a chance for these titles. I think she is believable as a champion, at least at minimum to be the Queen of the Ring, but she's had great matches with the likes of Rhea Ripley but I do believe that if she won this, I think she would create some interesting storytelling being a queen and kind of being like that evil queen, like I would immediately start picturing the one from like Snow White. I think Snow White had an evil queen. I don't know, but I think that would give you an interesting opportunity for Nia to kind of go afterwards, go and target Bayley, which could then create friction between Nia and Tiffany, who's going for Bayley. I just see opportunity. So that's my official prediction. Nia Jax is going to advance to the final to defeat Lyra Valkyria for the Queen of the Ring. Last but not least, let's predict the King of the Ring. Now, Gunther just beat Jay, which I was kind of surprised about. I really expected Jay to advance only because it feels like he's taken a lot of losses recently, and one of you in the comments actually convinced me to kind of root for Jay over Gunther. I've been feeling like I really wanted to see Gunther win this, and then I can't remember which one of you said it, but someone said that, well, Jay's been taking all of these L's, going for all these championships, he's losing enough, which I already believed. I already believed he was losing a little bit of main event steam, but you guys got me to root for Gunther a little bit less because I realized he didn't really need it. He's coming off a historic Intercontinental Championship run. He really doesn't need to go and win this right now, but we live in the here and now, Gunther is advancing to the final. Who is he going to be facing? That's going to either be Randy Orton or Tama Tonga. Wow. That match on Friday is going to be insane, but we're not here to talk about that. We're just here to say who we think's gonna win it. Now, Gunther being your heel, if we use simple babyface versus heel logic here, that would tell you that Randy's probably gonna win on Friday, and that's gonna be your match, Gunther versus Randy Orton. So if I'm making a prediction with the most likelihood of being right, I think you are going to get Randy Orton versus Gunther, and in that situation, I have no idea who's gonna win this. The only reason I think I would lean maybe toward Randy is because I believe someone said that that was like the only thing left on his checklist of things to win or something like that, maybe. But man, that would be an insane match, Gunther versus Randy. I feel like if you really made me pick who's going to win that one, I guess I gotta go Randy Orton. Now, my super less likely prediction, and I recognize this is not very likely, but what if this was an opportunity for Gunther to have a babyface turn? What if Tama Tonga does beat Randy Orton? Maybe it's through the bloodline helping him out. Randy Orton's already got a million reasons to hate the bloodline. What's one more? Now imagine your final is Gunther versus Tama Tonga. Gunther walks in facing off against all of what's left of the bloodline. So if there is any interest from the WWE to turn Gunther into a babyface, it would be putting him in the finals against Tama Tonga, but I really don't think they're going to have a Tama Tonga who is pretty new to being introduced to this storyline be in the finals of their King of the Ring tournament. So I recognize there's almost a 0% chance of that happening, but it's not impossible. It's kind of impossible. So official prediction, Randy beats Gunther in the final. I'm really curious to see what your opinions are. If you want to throw them in the comments, I'm happy to read them. I love interacting with you guys down there. I hope you decide to check out my Twitch, my Patreon, anywhere else that you could find me. Thank you so much to my patrons that are on the screen. Poof, there's a dog. Here's his treat. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.